Well, good evening, everyone. A little bit later than usual, 10 to 6 here on 18th of May. And as you can see, a little bit of strength in the American market, although the indices are chopping around, I suspect ahead of the Fed minutes tomorrow. The Nasdaq showing relative strength to the rest of the market today. It's up 86 points. The Dow is off 62 points, and the last time I looked the S&P was flat. Advances higher than that of the declines, and as you can see, a little bit of green on the color guard for the first time in a while. If the market finishes like this, then the short-term trend of the VectorVS composite in the US has turned up, but remember, every other measure of the market, in fact, a confirmed call is down, okay, and I see the underlying trend has turned up a little tick as well. So mixed situation, and if we have a look at the S&P itself, it's off half a tick, and as you can see on the chart, it's sitting right in the middle of yesterday's range. So charting a double inside pattern, that's a volatility pattern, and normally when it breaks it moves. So unfortunately we're not quite sure which way it's going to break, waiting on news tomorrow. So I think the star of the show, of course, is gold, and that's the gold market. Moved up strongly yesterday. While I was doing the VectorVS Q&A, I've drawn the trend line from the tops of these candles. Maybe not the best place to have taken them from if there wasn't much volume done on those spikes. Nevertheless, the market has broken up through this trend line, defining those tops. In the UK on polymetal, it's done exactly the same thing, and it's kept that figure reasonably well today. This market now has come a heck of a long way since the start of April. The market was at $16.75. It's now at $18,200 in 6 weeks. Without a doubt, sooner or later it's going to come back. I think it needs to come back relatively soon to test 1844 at least, but I would expect that a pullback will occur. This looks impulsive to me at the end of this pattern. I think the next really cool buying opportunity will be on the next pullback, the next major pullback before it goes again. I'm holding two stocks, Polymetal and Pan African Resources. I'm very, very pleased with them indeed. So with any luck, and there's going to be a great deal of angst in this area, but with any luck we've broken, and we've got this huge cup and handle pattern to look forward to, which goes on for years. As you can see, it takes me forever to get out that far. In fact, there may not be enough data for it, but you can see right back from 2013 we've got this rounding bottom, and this to me looks like the handle, and this bit should be repeated on the upside. So that market's not going to give that away easily, I assure you. It's not going to move in straight lines, so just be prepared for a little bit of a fight. And again, I must advise you that gold shares are certainly not for everybody. In the UK, well, in the UK we've got a slightly different situation, and the short-term trend of the market is down. I see today in the UK the 250 did reasonably well. The big indices, the FTSE 100, in fact, ended pretty flat. So the short-term trend is down, underlying trend is up, and we've got a confirmed up in place. I'm very happy with our little portfolio. At least my little portfolio. Sylvania's up a little bit today, looks good. Games Workshop, I was surprised it came back so much yesterday, but it's well up today. But the star of the show, folks, is Cranswick today, and Cranswick has been frustrating, that's for sure, but it's up 7% today, back up to about £40. If we have a look at it, you can see that it's been charting this flag pattern, and it's broken out of that flag pattern. Somebody emailed me about it a moment ago, and it was sitting up around 40 points, so it's up 7.5% today. If we have a look at it on the 5-year chart, that's hardly surprising, because over the last 5 years, you can see earnings per share has been rising, and it's gone back. That's the COVID's. It's gone back and kissed this level in a fairly agricultural fashion, but nevertheless kissed the level. Earnings are coming in, and as I say, it's up there now, so the next break should be much higher. The VectorVest valuation's at 47. I'm hoping we're going to get there relatively soon. This has been frustrating, there's no doubt, but I've held with it the whole way. Sometimes I wondered why I've held with it the whole way, but that's the nature of the beast. So I'm very pleased with that indeed. Pan-African is off 0.5% today, and Italia Mining is up a tick or two, but reasonably pleased with all of those. When the short-term trend in fact gets back in sync with the underlying trend and the confirmed up, then I'm going to be tempted to buy into Persimmons, the building stock. I still haven't done that yet. As you can see, VectorVest advocates not buying stocks at this time, and I'm trying to follow the rules. So the American market sitting in the doldrums, waiting for news. Upstart's had a great day. I spoke about it yesterday at the VectorVest Q&A. I haven't bought into it because until today the measures of the market were down. The fundamentals on VectorVest are not great, but my word, the chart looks good to me. As you can see, thrust, and we've got this falling wedge pattern. Textbook 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it went up here in news. It came right back because of a really bad day on the Nasdaq, and to me it looks as if it wants to go again. So that's something that I'll certainly going to look for tomorrow. Now getting an entry now is going to be difficult. It's extended up here, but nevertheless that's got, for those of you that have got the stomach for this volatility, that's a 19% move here, folks. Okay, I think the one that I am interested in, and maybe I'm interested in it for all the wrong reasons, is apps, because I got stopped out of it twice in a row. Maybe my entries weren't great, I don't know, but I got stopped out of it. Still on a sell recommendation, but on VectorVest the fundamentals are absolutely pristine. The RV is 1.86. The relative safety is 1.34. The comfort index 1.78, and it's forecast to grow earnings next year at 54%. So that looks outstanding. It's trading above the VectorVest valuation, there's no doubt, but certainly the relative value at 1.86, saying that the earnings should be forthcoming to justify that. If I look at the chart, we can see, and I found it earlier easier to look at it in a weekly chart. Where am I now? Weekly chart over a couple of years. That's the chart over a couple of years. You can see where this share has come from a share price of what, 2 or 3, there's 5 down there, right up to 100. If we put on earnings per share, we can see earnings per share is the reason why. Share price has gone from nothing to the earnings have gone from nothing to about $1 a share. It's pulled back, and too early for me, far too early for me. I bought into it just around these lows on a spring setup, not just here, on a spring setup, and got stopped out. No big deal, that's just the way it is. If I draw a fib from this low, from here up to there, we can see that it stopped on a a 62% retracement of that range, plus this little shoulder across here. That looks quite positive indeed. It could easily pull back, however, in any weakness to here, so we just need to watch the general market itself. At the minute it's charting an inside week. Too early for me to do anything. If I put on the MACD, you can see the MACD starting to look quite good here, but a very long way from giving a signal. So a bit early, I think, and the general market still hasn't turned. I normally take my swing trading signals with the DEW market timing system, and I don't think that has turned around as yet. So let's just have a look at that. We go to timing, go to market timing. There's the VectorVest DEW template, and the DEW hasn't turned around, but it's not that far off it, folks. It's not that far off it. Another couple of days and the DEW should turn up. And a signal is when the oscillator comes up through its center line and the price closes above this 30-day weighted moving average. It's a very robust signal. At the moment the signal is down, and I've found over the years that when I take my swing trades in the direction of the DEW, that improves the accuracy of them significantly. Too early for me on apps, but I'm certainly interested in apps at around these levels. This level may hold. So if we have a look at it on the daily chart and go in a little bit, there's an outside day that I thought was going to move up. My last entry was here, just there. Get rid of the MACD. My last entry was here, and I got stopped out just there. Okay, no big deal. It's now moving down. Now the Elliott people, if there's any Elliott watching, would say that this is A, this is B, and this is C. And that's certainly starting to look quite interesting. I think that if you see it breaking above this high, you can certainly try it with a stop loss underneath that low. And maybe I'll do that, but I'm going to wait for the DEW to turn up. The fundamentals on apps look absolutely great, and the technical picture is improving. Okay, I got that one wrong, but the technical picture is improving. Only danger would be orders right down at that 78% retracement, and the market blips down there for 10 minutes to fetch them before moving up. So I hope you find that useful. If we go back to the VectorVest USA, we're still seeing some green lights. At the end of the day, if everything stays the same way, the short-term trend, the first and noisiest measure of the trend on VectorVest has turned up. The underlying trend has stuck its nose up as well, but the DEW that I use for swing trades is still down. Another couple of days and that will turn, and then swing trades will be back on the table again. Gold is looking good, but just brace yourself for a test, pullback and a test of the last high in the gold market, and I'll in fact keep you well up to speed on that. Nasdaq still holding its own here, up 71 ticks. The Dow down 54 ticks, and the S&P flat. I would expect these indices to chop around until we see what the Fed minutes are tomorrow afternoon. On the S&P, we've got that double inside volatility pattern, and invariably markets break out of that volatility pattern with a great deal of gusto. Volatility is, if you remember back to your physics at school, the old teacher used to rattle on about scalars and vectors, if you remember. Well, volatility patterns and energy are scalars. They've got size but no direction, so it doesn't predict which way it's going to break. It just, the volatility pattern is saying that energy is building up and it's going to explode one way or the other. I think that there's going to be lots and lots of money to be made after it makes its decision for us. So thanks very much indeed. Bye bye.